Oh ho ho ho! Hello everybody! Do. Where's the page? There's the page. Hey guys, it's me. It's Andy Decade Andy here. Pre-moon pooping. We're gonna be starting off the show relatively soon, as it's just me today, so there's not much to set up. I do need to set up, however, the website. Okay, and there's that. And let's squish the box just a little. Doesn't squish more than that. That's fine. That's all we need. Just a little smush just to get it all on screen. Yes. I'm thinking, do I need to get anything else sorted? The audio's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety splack. Yep, that's going. Music's ready. I need to check to see if my headphones are working. They're not. They're not. No. Oh, no. That's better. And then that. Okay, that should all be working. In theory. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get on with the moon pooping. Play some music.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast with me, Andy. Decade Andy here. We're going to be talking about news this week, as it's been, as the usual schedule, 2 weeks since the last batch of news. Not a huge amount to talk about, as per usual, but there are rumours and up-and-coming things have been hinted at that we can talk about and do a little bit of speculating what those things may or may not be, or what they're going to be based on at the very least. And then we've got some weird third-party stuff as usual. So I hope you've all had a good day, weekend, a good week since the last time we talked to you, and also a good time for Easter. I wish you a good Easter last time, but I'll wish it to you again. So hopefully you've had a good period of time. I know people are going to be having the half-term holidays, or they're on them now. If you're in the UK, I think. So if you're in the UK, hopefully you're enjoying your half term. I don't know. I don't know what the demographic is of the show. Anyway, talking Transformers. Doobly boop 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 boo. What do we got? Gonna be starting off with third-party news. As you can see on the screen, we're going and looking at the Mastermind Creations Ocular. I'm gonna have to scroll the page because it's a little bit too small. The Ocular Infinite Finity, the IF-03 Kronos, which is Vector Prime. Which seems to be a reuse of, I think, their Deadlock figure. This is not a unique mold. It is a hard and heavy and sexy retool of a previous figure. But let's read the little blurb that they've got down. So it's like, height-wise, he's going to be 7.48 inches tall. Vehicle dimensions, 15.5 by 6.5 by 5 centimeters. Apparently, it's a 132 scale, which... Is that right? Do we have like a scientific scale for Vector Prime? As he is like a weird, super old Cybertronian ship design. Does he have like a standard size? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. You get the main figure and accessories. He's going to have 86 joints of articulation, interchangeable facial expressions, accessible canopy which opens with opening gull wing doors. I don't know what that is. Maybe gull wing doors are like the DeLorean car doors. You know how they open upwards instead of in and outy like a normal door. Maybe that's what that means. Convertible hover mode configuration, rubber tires, transparent windows. That's a feature. That's generous to call transparent windows a feature, but okie dokie. Realistic, detailed driver and passenger compartments. Oh, just the compartments, not driver. Driver and passenger compartments, so it's a driver's seat. Okay, that makes more sense. Apparently it's coming out late July, so relatively close. And it doesn't say what he's based off of, but you can see like the chest has been remolded. If it is based off of Deadlock, which I'm sure it is. I think all of the front-facing parts have been changed. He's got a new head, chest, shoulders, forearms, waist area, knees, hips. They all look like they're kind of in that realm of like restructured, remolded kind of stuff. That's what I'm assuming. Don't know if it's true. I'm going to throw it out there. So articulation's good. However, visually, it does look like Vector Prime, but it looks just slightly off. So it's a slightly... how best to describe it? It looks like... Yeah, okay, maybe this is a good way to explain it. It looks like... To me, it looks like what Hasbro did with all of the Transformers Prime adaptations for Age of the Primes and the Legends figures. Where you look at the figure and you're like, you've got Bulkhead with the giant square for the chest instead of being round. And you're like, yeah, I can tell that's animated or Transformers Prime Bulkhead. It's just not quite right. The details on Vector Prime are right, but because he's missing his wings, you can see he's got door pieces everywhere on him, or just car bits on him. And is the way that the head looks as well. There's just something that's just a little off about him. Not like the bad QC way, it's just not quite right. You know, this is Moki Mouse rather than Mickey Mouse. This is Donald Duck rather than Donald Duck. You know, this is Rugs Funny rather than Bugs Bunny. It's just a little off. So he has a Matrix sword, it seems. Again, I wouldn't say that looks correct to Vector Prime's usual sword. I don't know if it's Drift's looking sword. The other face seems to be him with his mouth open screaming. So that's fine. Like I say, it does not look like a bad figure. We don't get to see the hover mode. We don't get to see the car mode. But it just looks a little off, is the best way I could describe it. Not bad, just wrong. Very, very wrong. But maybe this is something you would like. I guess you could... What is this? Well, maybe it does turn into a DeLorean. On the back of the figure, it looks like it's got like DeLorean vents. Maybe that's why they didn't show the car mode, chat. Right? That's why they haven't shown the car mode, because it is a DeLorean. Because looking at the back of the figure, you can see what looks like the Back to the Future back of a DeLorean engine. That thing with Mr. Fusion and the big exhausts, whatever you want to call them. Then on the back of his shoulder pads, you can see parts of the car, but they've got cabling all over the place. Again, much like the DeLorean. Oh, I was right about the gully doors. The gully doors do swing open. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say, because this is Vector Prime, and Vector Prime is a time traveler, that this is gonna turn not into the drift car or the deadlock car or whatever. It's gonna be a transforming DeLorean. Yes, because that makes sense. I mean, for alt mode for Vector Prime, does it make sense for Vector Prime to be a normal Earth vehicle mode and a car at that? Not particularly. If you're gonna like rejig him to be something into a car, why not make him a time traveling car? Now, would it have been cooler to make him a time traveling train? I don't know. I think that would have been maybe cooler, in my opinion. I think that would have been super cool. Because whenever people do like Back to the Future, they obviously do the DeLorean, because that's like the standout thing, right? It's like, you think Back to the Future, you think the DeLorean. You don't often think of the train that you see at the last... Oh, how long do you even see it for? Maybe like 5 minutes at the end of Back to the Future 3? So why not do the fancy train, you know? Just throwing it out there. I'm trying to think, did they have any weird vehicles in the cartoon series? And because I never saw the cartoon series, I can't really say. I always wondered as a kid, was the Back to the Future cartoon very similar or in a similar vein to the Bill and Ted cartoon? Because I'm pretty sure they like both Bill and Ted Adventures, Most Excellent Adventures, the cartoon, and the Back to the Future cartoon all had to do with time travel. XL Hedge says, Vector Prime, Flying DeLorean, certainly seems like it, XL Hedge. And I was saying, I think it's a good call. Like I say, he's still visually a little weird looking, but at least they're doing something. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that the color of the plastic, I would argue, is not correct for Vector Prime, because his panels are, funnily enough, molded in a white plastic, similar to the crappy version that America got, rather than... Well, how would you describe it? He's more of a really light gray color, gray or browny color, I would say. More in that kind of vein color wise than just pure white, which they've gone for here. Maybe that's another reason why it just doesn't quite gel with me. But if you're interested in this, Ocular Max always do good quality stuff, I hear. So even if you're thinking, I don't know, you're gonna probably get a good quality product at the very least. So yay, that's good. Next up, we have the New Age retools, repaints of their Sideswipe figure into figures that no one's surprised about. We have the New Age H71B Mortimer, whatever, Sideswipe. It's the Shattered Glass version, so it's Sideswipe, but he has cut over boob, or around boob. Let's read the deets. Okay. Releasing in early May. And that's all it says. He comes with a drill, a sword, a shoulder gun, a gun, and 2 sets of hands. I don't think the head is different, but I'm not sure. Oh, actually, this is a reuse of Red Alert, because on the car mode, it's got the little light bar on top. He has if you don't know, Shattered Glass version of this character is a metallic-y, minty green color, and then gray or black for his other stuff, and then he's got some stripes on the green bits. Looks okay, you know. I don't really care. Shattered Glass, not my cup of tea. It's not my forte. I like the sword, and it doesn't look like a bad figure. It's just like kind of dull. Next one's better though. Yes, it's the H71G Manco, which is the G2 version of Sideswipe. Now, obviously, this is actually using the Sideswipe mold. There's no light bar on the car mode. He is done into G2 version. He definitely has a new face. The head looks the same, like the little helmet bit, but the face is different. He's definitely pulling a classic 90s Judge Dredd grimace, like Judge Dredd stepped on a snail without wearing shoes and socks in the middle of the night. You know, that kind of feeling of He also comes with the spiky wheels for the shoulders. I'm guessing they're just separate parts that you plug in. And he comes with his 2 unique guns, the big hoof massive ones. Also the blade, which I guess is a reuse from the previous figure, or vice versa. So he doesn't come with really any of the standard Sideswipe stuff. Do you have a second face? No, I think that's just the only face he has. So his classic 2 guns, his sword, and his little wheel things. The only thing I would say he's missing is the bandolier. The bandolier would have been nice, but yeah, it's probably hard to get a bandolier to rest on a figure, because you can't just like rest it on. Okay, how do I explain this? You can get a round like shape and then plop it over the top of this thing in a bandolier fashion, but it won't sit flush with the body. So the way they have it sit flush with the body is you have it molded onto the body, and you can't really do that because then that kind of messes around with the transformation. So that's I don't think that's possible. But he do look good, and G2 Sideswipe always good. Someone's putting the images of G2 Sideswipe so you can remember him. Remember G2 Sideswipe and his bandoliers. But he's reasonably tooled up. Not tooled to the max, but reasonably tooled up. If you were going to get a Sideswipe, I would always recommend G2 Sideswipe. That is the version to go for. Slightly manic, slightly deranged. Oh, and then we have the H73 Martin, which is Red Alert. So in terms of difference here, what do we have? We have a different head. So he's got the Red Alert head. So he's got a little... His helmet's actually a little different, I guess, to Sideswipe. Then he has shoulder guns, shoulder gun, normal gun, open hands, closed hands, and then I guess we have this blue effect part for when he's going crazy, when he's losing his mind. The issue I would throw out here is for the he's losing his mind, but he just comes with a very calm, neutral face. So I'm losing my mind, but I'm taking it very well. Doesn't quite work. Maybe would have benefited them from throwing in the G2 Sideswipe face. But I don't know if they're probably not interchangeable faces, are they? Maybe a second head. Because it's weird to have Red Alert look passive, shall we say, as he's kind of a freaky deaky little character who freaks out over like a butterfly coming by. You can have the Inferno hold him gently and soothingly in his arms. And again, we've got the I'm losing my mind, but my face is very calm face, which doesn't quite work. But as usual, New Age toys do high quality figures, small scale, expensive. It might be not a style that you enjoy, but they do good quality figures from what I remember from the ones I've picked up. And keeping with the third-party trend of small figures, we have... Did I talk about Wolfman? Dr. Wu's DWHC01 Wolfman? Well, if I didn't, or if I did, we're going to cover it again. It's a Micromaster scaled version of Weird Wolf. It's going to be 7.5 centimeters tall, in robot mode, of course. And it is going to be a take on the War for Cybertron Micromaster scaled kind of figures, as that kind of tallness and whatnot, as these ones usually are. He also does have a tiny headmaster, which can, I'm guessing, headmaster onto him. Can it? I assume so. Very tiny, very small. Has very little stumpy wolf legs, but reasonably cute. Probably going to transform in a very, very similar fashion to the G1. It looks like you can flip up or flip open back panels on his calves. Like those panels will just kind of flip open and then you'll just fold the legs in. Excuse me, and close up those calf panels. That's how you'll close up the, the wolf mode. Ooh, I've got bits in my throat. Yum, yum, yum. But yeah, nice, cute, very cute. Decepticon headmasters are the better headmasters, in my opinion. It did mention he'd have a little compartment for the headmaster to go, like the original. I don't know if the headmaster panel will work. When you plug the head in, the stats come up on the chest. It looks like there might be room for that, and it wouldn't take a huge amount to do that if they wanted to. And if they really wanted to, they could make it down to the more simplified version that Headmaster Juniors had, rather than the little rotatey wheel that the original Headmasters had. So there's an option. I think it's safe to say that we'll see the rest of the Headmasters coming, so I can't think of any of them that they wouldn't do. At the very least, they do all of the Decepticon ones at this point. It'd be nice to see a Snapdragon and an Ape Face as well get done. That'd be okay. But I imagine they'll do the Autobot Headmasters as well. Well, they do the Juniors. I don't know about that. Apparently, it's a planned release for 227. It says releases in 227. Excel Hedge, do you want to take a crack at decrypting what 227 is as a date? Is that like February of next year? Like February 2027? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Yeah, someone's put up release in when? Release in 227. Where is it? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. But there you go. Weird Wolf's coming. We've also got from Dr. Wu the DW-E58 Giant, Rocket Giant, which is a super deformed version of Omega Supreme. We've seen this before. Maybe. And this is one of the ones that turns into a cube to go with the style of the time. So let's read the blurb. This is a very original take on the classic Autobot G1 Autobot Giant in a 9.5 centimeter tall super deformed or chibi style version. Going through puberty again. Woof. He can transform into his rocket and rocket base mode, and Dr. Wu surprises us with an extra mode. No, he doesn't, because we've seen this on a load of these figures. He can also transform into a small cube. An energon cube. Sorry, energy cube, not energon cube, an energy cube in quotations, which is in fitting. It doesn't say it here in the article, but is in fitting with the other ones that we've seen of this style. It isn't a surprise. It isn't fancy. We've seen it before. He also comes with a Robo Doctor figure and a tiny... who's a robot? I guess we'll find out when I scroll down. And a tiny countdown partner. That's odd. It says the latter is a pre-order bonus. Still odd to include Countdown with Omega Supreme. I know Omega Supreme is a base with a rocket. So I guess if you're going to release Countdown without his actual base, is probably the most appropriate Transformer to put him with. Okay, makes sense, I suppose. It's just odd. It's planned to be released at the end of June of this year, so quite soon. To top it all, Dr. Wu Weeaboo has updated with images of the first variant, the DW/58B rocket giant. I didn't need to read any more. That's the Guardian robot. Yeah, there it is. It's a blue deco inspired by Guardian robot. Of course it is. If you're gonna do Omega Supreme, the blue one, that'll do. So let's have a look at these images. I have no idea who the fuck this robot doctor is meant to be. I have no clue. And 0. But the Omega Supreme, he's looking interesting. The little base mode is exactly what you would think. It is as odd, let's just say, as G1 Omega Supreme's base. You know, it's just a weird little rail track with a rocket in the center of it, but there you go. We see the cube mode. It does look a little bit like Jason Voorhees has just folded Omega Supreme up into cube mode, and he's now dead. And then we have images of him just sitting around with Optimus Primes, some action poses. We see Countdown. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing a lot of articulating or transforming, but it does look like Countdown. That's nice. And like I say, I don't understand this robot doctor, but he is reasonably poseable. He's got double jointed elbows, big old ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed hips, it seems, a hinge in the knee, which, because he's so long and lanky and slender, I'm going to assume that he can just do a really, really deep singular knee bend. They show the blue version. You actually get a white and blue and orange version of Countdown, and a white and blue version of the Doctor, whoever the Doctor is meant to be. And then some images of the Guardian, which is just obviously just the blue one. Fun. But yeah, I mean, if you're already into this line, I don't see why you wouldn't pick up Omega Supreme as well, just to go along with the rest of the super deformed cube line that you're already apparently into. It's a very, as usual, it's a very unique style, which may or may not be for you, the Transformers discerning collector. It's a very specific market. But looks okay. Again, Omega Supreme looks like he's reasonably well articulated. He's got knee joints, ankle rockers, waist joints, single hinge in the elbows, head swivels. He's got his little masks that can flip up and down. Yeah, it's all stuff that you're not surprised about to see with Omega Supreme. If you would ask Andy, will the little tank mode be battery powered? I'm gonna say probably not. Probably don't hope for it to drive around on the track on its own. Though I would hope you weren't buying the figure, assuming it would do that anyway. There you go. Moving on to DNA Designs. They're doing the DK75 Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime and Starscream upgrade kit. This was from the obvious Hearts of Steel 2-pack that came out some time ago. They came out at some point. So let me read you the blurb. So this is the DK79 Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime upgrade kit. It does mention Starscream, but it doesn't mention it here. Estimated release date is going to be July 2026. Pre-order date is going to be the 23rd of April, which is this month? Question mark? Is it April? Oh my god, it's April. Okay. So let's read the parts. All parts are storageable. Storageable? He's going to come with a brand new chest piece, an original train car upgrade kit, convertible into weapon system, gap fillers for the thigh and arms, included weapon accessories, the original chest armor, optional attachment, and then it has a little blurb. Hello, DNA Design fans. The DK79 brings a complete upgrade solution that combines visual enhancement, X, original play features. Featuring a newly designed train car weapon system to expand playability. We hope this delivers more fun and surprises through both transformation and enhancements. This time, we also aim to achieve full part storage, which resulted in a slightly longer development time. Thank you for your patience, blah, 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 yakety, splackety, doodads. So, let's have a look. I can't. Oh, I think the only parts for Starscream are Gatling guns. Maybe it does say Starscream. I haven't seen any Starscreamy bits unless the bonus parts are Starscreamy bits. Okay. It is a change visually to the Prime, that's for sure, as his legs and feet are massively jumped up. Yeah, he gets in tiny thigh plates, so it'll clip onto the shin plate. So clip onto the front of his shin and also go around the back of his calf muscle as well. He gets brand new feet. He gets a brand new roof to the train. The filler parts which I mentioned, brand new forearms, a lance, a black part which I'm not quite sure on, and then what I assume is the extra train card, which as we see forms like wings for the back of the robot, which is interesting, I suppose. Oh, okay. The black piece is to add to the chimney of the train to make it into a proper, decent looking gun rather than the really sad little depressing thing he's holding. Exel Hedge says the Prime kit is certainly interesting, considering Prime never had anything like this fighting Cthulhu. I bet he wish he did. But I wish it helped, or would have helped. It definitely tidies up the figure. It definitely makes him bigger. I don't know if it makes it more awkward. It does, again, make the train look a bit more interesting. It doesn't really give you an extra cart to the train. Like, when it's described as an extra cart, I imagined it would be like a separate carriage on the back. But it's not. It's just kind of extending out the back of his train to be longer than it was previously, which makes it look more in proportion, which is nice. We should show it as the train mode back to back. It also makes it seem like these parts are more like a God Bomber, super mode, rather than a you replace these parts. It definitely looks more like this is Optimus Prime's Hearts of Steel's super mode. Slap these on and he's ready to fight, Cthulhu, I suppose. It looks okay. It shows that you don't have to include all of them. So if you just want to have his extra legs and extra arms, you can. Shows the filler parts for the inside of the feet. His normal feet, not the bigger ones, but the inside of the normal feet, the inside of the bicep, and the inside of the thigh as well. It's not too bad. Like I say, I wonder how these parts will interact with each other, whether they clatter around. Oh, the bonus pieces add little wings to the side of his like steam engine chest area. If you put a lion head in the center of that kind of train engine chest, it would look very similar to Gao Gaga. Hello, Rodimus Power Toy Collector. I hope you're doing well this evening. Hope it's going well. And the guns that I thought were for Starscream are for Prime as well. They're just like Gatling guns that go on his forearm. But maybe you can use them with Starscream as well. You can! Oh, I'm so smart. Are you impressed, chat, by how mediocre my brain is? Yes, so the Gatling guns that work on Prime, you can just flip them onto Starscream and use them as his null Gatling guns? I don't know what they were called, but those things. So you can do that if you choose to. But really, this is primarily an Optimus Prime upgrade kit. It's not a Starscream upgrade kit. And even then, it's not so much an upgrade kit. It's more of a power-up kit. It's one of those kind of things. I can't really tell what the difference in the chest is. The chest looks a bit bigger. Yeah, that's probably all I'd say about the chest. The actual circular part looks like it's a bit bigger than it is than the original one. Maybe it also helps with stability. I don't really know. but it doesn't. It's not quite as striking as the other upgrade parts on the figure, but I'm sure it has its use. So DNA Designs. Okay, they also showed the upgrade kit for the DK 63N Studio Series, the Last Night Nemesis Prime upgrade kit. So let me read you the blurb. So this is estimated for a release on July, or in July, not on, in July. Pre-orders are going to be the 16th of April of this year. The upgraded contents include weapon expansion. It's going to include the Iron Blaster, 2 arm sleeves, 2 energy blades. I don't know what arm sleeves. We'll find out what the arm sleeves are. 2 energy blades, along with a highly detailed painted knight sword and a transformable shield. Next up is the flame arm armor. Recreates the late movie arm design with the flame textured detailing, and can be fully stored in vehicle mode. Improves overall stability and balance. With a reinforced heel support, a new roof cover will optimize back storage in the robot mode and optimize back storage in robot mode for a cleaner appearance, if I could speak. A spine detail part enhances the back silhouette when displayed in a simplified configuration. Connector adapters allows for a more flexible combination of the shield and sword. Photos show standard configuration only. We look forward to seeing your creative setups so you can fiddle around with it clearly. And version differences compared to the DK63. The DK63N features improved color matching for better integration with the base figure. And then we can see, and that's all of the upgrade bits. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, you get when it says like new sleeves, I guess. That seems to mean like from the bicep swivel downwards. So you get completely new elbow joints as well, and fists on there to boot. So it's quite a lot. It looks fairly nice as an upgrade kit. There's a lot in here. Now looking at them side to side. Oh, yeah, okay. The arms do look improved because previously on the standard version, the Hasbro version, the bicep swivel is colored blue instead of gray, which obviously is not accurate to the figure, so that helps tidy that up, sure. The gun's certainly much bigger. much, much bigger. What else do we see? Do we see any other differences? At least from this shot. The heel spur is bigger. It doesn't look obnoxious, but it looks like it helps support the figure a little bit more at the very least. I think it mentioned the back, didn't it? The DK3. Okay, so I'm guessing between the N and the 63N and the 63, the N is just colored to go with Nemesis Prime because he's using like dark gray rather than a metallic-y silver. I think that's the only real difference. What's the difference here? Maybe they're just showing off the difference between the sword and the shield. And you can store the sword and the shield a little bit nicer, I guess, on this new one. Are you going to just show us the back, please? Because you touted how you've tidied it up. I'd like to see it with mine own eyes before I die. There it is. No, I don't know how tidy that is. Oh boy, in vehicle mode, you can store everything in vehicle mode, but it starts to look a little silly and wonky. Best to see the picture than me attempt to describe it. And it's there. I don't know. I don't know. I wish it showed the difference between the unupgraded back and the normal upgraded back. It does show that, but it's then got the sword and shield on both versions of them on the back, so you can't see how clean it actually is or isn't. Which, yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I don't know if this is a great upgrade kit. I don't know. I guess it depends how liable your Nemesis Prime is to fall over. How egregious you find the blue at the bicep joint. That might be a thing. How much do you want a fancy sword and shield? I think the wrist mounted swords that's nice. Other than that, I don't know. The new gun's kind of cool as well, but yeah. A collector of the Studio Series movie live action line probably would have a better, more logical thought on this process than me, who neither has nor wants these figures. But something to throw out there. So if you're interested, you will be able to get it in July. And your pre-orders are for the 16th of April, so that's pretty soon, baby. Next up, we have colored images, or colored prototypes, I should... Colored prototypes and images of the Magic Square Toys MS-B63 Enact number 1. I think that's how you say his name. This is the Legend Scale Lightspeed. We've seen the uncolored prototype versions. I've said, I'm sure previously, that they looked good, but they were in grey plastic, so they looked boring and lame. Now we see him in his mostly red color scheme with his eyes and his little mush done, and yeah, it looked like Lightspeed, very cartoony Lightspeed, very boxy, very posable. Yeah, I guess I think this would be a good way to sell you if you're like, do you want Computron? Here you go. Again, as I said previously, do you want to buy this now, or would you prefer to wait for the Masterpiece scaled up version? Are they guaranteed to do that? No. Did they do it with the Combaticons? Yes. Logic dictates that they do it again, because it would be odd if they didn't. But yeah, Lightspeed is looking good, looking fancy, looking like he will probably be expensive. It'll be cheaper than New Age stuff, obviously, but I think it's a Magic Square like 40 to 50-ish pounds, I think, give or take. Shows us the leg mode as well. It do be looking like a car plugged into a foot. I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, it looks like there's an extra piece on the back of the the calf as well. I guess to tidy up the underside of the car mode detail, so there's not just a flat car with robot bits poking out. And I'm guessing it's to help thicken up the leg again, to make it look a little bit nice and tidier in comparison to it just being, flat and boring and lame. So that's just me making assumptions based on these images. I'm guessing here, but I think that's a logical statement to make. But he do be looking good, though. So, yay. We got another small figure, the DX9 Mini Superman Mini. The DX9 Mini. Probably a comma here. Superman Mini 04 figure, which is the legend scaled Jinrai Power Master Optimus Prime figure. Which I want to say we've talked about. But I'm not sure. Sorry, I can just feel something tickly in the back of my throat. It's really annoying. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the figure comes with Haikyuu or Jinrai, smallest Jinrai or Haikyuu, his 2 goons, and then his 2 shoulder goons as well. It looks like a very animated version of Super Jinrai. Not quite a toy version where he's quite, obviously blocky. This one's a bit more lithe and anime-esque looking in proportions, I would say. He do be turning into standard Jinrai as well. So they've got some images of that. I don't think these look quite as clean as, say, like the Magic Square stuff. I think Magic Square would have a better looking figure in total than this. It doesn't look bad, but the way that the knees look, especially when you think how the knees and the articulation looked on Lightspeed, this doesn't look quite as high quality as that, I don't think. Again, not bad, just like, it's not quite as nice as other companies have done. We do see the vehicle mode as well. It seems like it's going to connect to the Jinrai cab in a similar way to the original toy, where you have the big blue stick. Right, and that big blue stick plugs into a little hole on Prime. Sorry, Jinrai, my bad. Jinrai in standard Jinrai mode is going to be the same size as I assume yes, that's right. Their DX9 Brainstorm. Yes, that's Brainstorm. Chrome Dome and Double Dealer, so they're all going to be similar size. He will be obviously bigger in Super Jinrai mode, and he can fit in what I assume is DX9 Mini Bumblebee inside his cab mode as well. And it also shows off Haikyuu as reasonably posable with ball joints in his elbows. in his shoulders, which will be a little bit limited, obviously, because he's got on top of the shoulder, he's got the big square thing for the detailing. Excuse me. Then he's got ball joints, I think, in the knees and in the hips as well. And that's it. It doesn't look like he's got any head articulation, and I don't think he has any waist articulation either. That's fine. Then one little shot of Super Jinrai taking a step forward. Not super exciting for your action pose, but fair enough. Fair play. It seems like Haikyuu will be able to plug into the front of Jinrai as well. He won't do the whole press in to Jinrai like the original toy. He just kind of awkwardly sits on his tummy. Or his back, I suppose. But he can do it. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm trying to think in Super Jinrai mode if it looks awkward or not. I can't really tell. Really sure. Yeah, I think this is again not bad. I think another company, as I mentioned before, I'd prefer to see them do it, but for like an early-ish outing from DX9 Mini specifically, these are fine. I have a feeling the price might push them into the not fine territory where you go, yeah, but why wouldn't I just buy, Magic Square instead? Well, there you go. XL Head says, why do these 3D parties... third, oh God, I'm stupid. Why do these third parties never include a a solid red hand and red eye option for powered Optimus Prime? I guess it depends what they're going for, right? XL Hedge, if they're going for an animated look or if they're going for a cartoon look. Sorry, not an animated look or a toy look. I think generally, if I was to put my bets on what I would think customers would be more interested in, the toy version, accurate version, or the cartoon accurate version, I would imagine more people would be interested in the cartoon version of the figure. I don't have numbers. That's just the feeling I would have. But I might be wrong. Who knows? Making extra head and extra hands is usually more expensive as well. So, if we don't do that, we save money, we make money. That's what Andy would assume anyway. So, take that as you will. Next up, we have Power of the Primes reissues. This is why I hate reissues. Reissuing from Hasbro is so fucking fickle and all over the place. Because I would not have betted that these three figures, because it's not just this one that we've got on screen, there are another two. I would not have pegged these figures to get reissued, but here we are. These figures are getting reissued. So, Power of the Primes, Throne of the Primes reissue coming. Do you remember this? Because I didn't until I saw this image and went, what? Yes, they are re-releasing the Throne of the Primes San Diego Comic-Con figure. This was what was this? Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus or something like that was recolored. I don't know if it was remolded or anything, but he was recolored into Optimus Prime. Sorry, Primal. Oh, sorry, this was also an Amazon page. Sorry, this PR of Power of the Prime 1 if the model number on the Amazon page is right. So I'm guessing this is just a guess. No, I don't know. So the assumption is it's going to be this figure. So he's going to come with his cardboard throne, which he comes with. He's also going to come with his weird staff, twatting stick, and crown, which were always slightly odd for primal, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you missed out on this figure, you can get it again. It's an odd one. Maybe it's getting reissued because it's really popular, but I don't know why you'd reissue this, especially as it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, as far as I was aware. So I guess it's not exclusive anymore? Or they just found extra crates of these in the factory and just went, we'll send these out. People can buy them if they want. I don't know. Oh, I completely forgot. On the back of his little cardboard throne, you could get all of the power of the primes, and you could put them in this little spinny wheel so you could spin them around the throne. That was always kind of a neat but stupid feature. XLhead says, why specifically the black repaint? Who knows? Wouldn't most people want the standard optimal Optimus colors? I mean, I would have thought so. To go with the Transmetal 2 Megatron? Yeah, I would have thought so. I think that figure had issues to it, but to me, that would make the most sense. I agree. That's why I say, like, did they just find a load of these in the back of a warehouse? Is that the reason why they've said they're reissuing, quote unquote, because they've just found some somewhere? Otherwise, yeah, why do it? I don't know. It's odd. Reissues from Transformers just don't seem to make any logical sense to me. Continuing that trend, how about Shattered Glass Starscream, the Earthrise mold? Sorry, no, I lied, not the Earthrise mold. The War for Cybertron mold. That one, the Tetrajet. Why not reissue that one? And this one makes maybe a bit more sense. Runabout is the Earthrise Runabout mold is also getting a reissue. That one makes a little bit more sense because wasn't Runabout and or Runamuck difficult to get? Question mark, something like that. I think. Or were they reissuing Runabout as well, or Runamuck, which the white one? Were they reissuing that one as well? If they are reissuing that one, that would make sense why you'd reissue this one as well. Kind of. I don't know why you're reissuing Shattered Glass Starscream. I'm pretty sure this was the Starscream that yellowed. And I'm pretty sure it yellowed straight away, right? Maybe that's why they're reissuing it. Maybe this new batch of Starscream, Shattered Glass Starscream, won't yellow? Question mark? I don't know. It's just odd. I don't know why you choose these figures to reissue. But if you're interested in them, they're coming, apparently. XLhead says, why? Starscream makes no sense. Just repaint the new Cybertron Starscream. I mean, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But why do that? Why do that? Yeah, why not repaint the Studio Series version into this white Starscream? I mean, technically, the Starscream figure isn't out yet. The Studio Series Starscream isn't out yet, but you know, I don't know. It's like I said, it's weird. I don't know why you do it. I have no idea. Maybe you couldn't do it with Starscream because Shattered Glass Starscream was shown in a comic to use this body, not the G1 Earth mode. Maybe I don't know. Also Run Amok without Runabout. Like I say, I can't remember XLHedge if they mentioned reissuing the other one a while ago, and I've just forgotten. Could have happened. Otherwise, yes, again, odd. I say, I'm sticking to this, that Hasbro should release a poll. Or pre-orders, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's like so, when you enter this poll to vote for a thing you want reissued, it's a poll, but you're putting money down. Or at least you're saying, I'm pre-ordering this figure. And the one that has the most pre-orders wins. And you go, okay, we'll reissue this figure, you know? And then all those people who've put in the pre-orders, they have their pre-orders already guaranteed and ticked off because they were the ones that wanted it. And then standard pre-orders are also put out for people who also would like to reissue a certain kind of figure that they just couldn't get. I think that would be a good way to do it. Also give you a reason to have Hasbro Pulse. I think that just is a logical way to do things. But who wants logic? We'll just do Power of the Primes Optimus Primal. Why not? But we have more rumors and numbers and things. So, Studio Series 2026, Rise of the Beasts, Scourge, Peter Dinklage, Age of Extinction, Evasion Optimus Prime, and Bimblebee, and Transformers 1 Soundwave. Oh, that might be interesting. So these are up-and-coming Studio Series figures for this year. They're only descriptions so far, but the descriptions are: for Rise of the Beast Scourge, he's going to be a 31-step transformer with 3 accessories, being a blade, a claw, and a blaster. The evasion mode Optimus Prime is going to be 27 steps with a blaster accessory. Excuse me. Bumblebee is going to be 34 steps, which is interesting. Does that mean he's going to be Voyager class? Bladed blaster accessory, and Soundwave from TF1 is going to be 27. I would imagine the 20 steppers have to be deluxe scale, right? And the 30 to 34s have to be Voyager, right? Maybe. I'm not sure. But an interesting lineup. We've got 3 figures I'm not particularly interested in seeing. I am interested to see what they do with Soundwave. Axel Hedge and chat. Can you remember what Soundwave turned into in Transformers 1? Because off the top of my head, I can't. Did he transform in that movie? Wait, reserve that. Reserve what, sorry? You mean my idea for pre-ordering Transformers or reissuing Transformers? I think, yeah, maybe you mean that. Yeah, Axel Hedge. What did TF1 Soundwave transform into, if ever? Because I'm not sure he did. I don't think he did. There's one figure there. That's the sound. It can't be as naffy looking as Transformers 1 Starscream, who looked bad with his stupid gimpy face. So hopefully they won't mess up Soundwave. Soundwave is interesting till you remember his alt mode. Yeah, what is it? What's his alt mode? What is the alt mode? Let me see with my own eyes. Hang on. I think Bumblebee movie Soundwave. It transforms into a square, right? A square with wheels. I want a visual. I want to see what this boy looks like. Because I honestly can't remember. TF1 Soundwave alt mode. There we go. That's quick. Okay, let's pull up the screen. Oh, it's this. Oh, it is. It is the Bumblebee movie Soundwave. This weird little flat-looking design. I click on an image for Transformers 1 Soundwave and it shows me nothing. Fantastic. Thank you. Hang on. Can you see that on screen? Yeah, that. Or that. It might look better than the B movie version of it, because the B movie version of it was terrible. Maybe they'll translate it better. Right? Copium? We'll see. We also have the 2027 retro listing lineup. So these are the weird, slightly retooled, slightly repainted figures. One's going to be Bugbite, one's going to be Exhaust. So one's going to be a Bumblebee. Which version of Bumblebee? I don't know. Will it be Studio Series Bumblebee, or will it be the Gamer Edition version of Bumblebee? You know, the slightly chunkier one. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would think it might be the chunkier Devastation B. And I'm only thinking that because it's newer, but it could easily be the Studio Series one as well, just because they're reasonably close to each other. And I don't remember if that B is the Devastation one is out at this point. Give Bugbite his tribal tattoos. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And let me tell you why. Because they'll say something like, well, when Bugbite was originally conceived, he was just a white version. It was only Bokon that gave him the tribal tattoos. So it's not officially the canon design. That's what I would bet they'd say. And I would say, well, that's smelly and lame. And I think people would agree with me. Now, for Exhaust, I think we all know what's going to happen here. They're going to use the Wheeljack figure, the Earthrise Wheeljack figure, because we haven't had a new one since then. And they're just going to give him a new head. If they're kind, maybe they'll make his shoulder gun. But I wouldn't hold your breath. I'll be honest, I don't really care for the Walmart retro line, which is maybe for the best because it's an exclusive line. But I don't know, the entire line seems kind of boring. You know, it's just, oh, these figures have came out and we'll just maybe tweak the color scheme just like a little bit. You mean a lot? No, 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 no. Just a little bit, you know, just a little smidge. So yeah, I will give you a white Bumblebee. Anything else with him? No, no, no. I will give you exhaust as well. Are you gonna have like the racing bits on him? No, no, probably not. Well, he'll be white and red, but you know what would be a really Chad move? If instead of like an accessory they gave him like a packet of cigarettes, cigarettes. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, if you want these figures, they'll be coming out. I'm sure we'll talk about how they look when we see images of them. When we see images of them. There we go. So in terms of 2027, what does Age of the Prime have for us? It says extra wave found. So these are the figures that have been listed. We have G2 Wild Rider. Can you even consider what that might be? I certainly can't. I wonder if if Japan's going to get G2 Menasor before America does, because that would be quite funny. They've also got listed as DLX, which is a deluxe figure, Sky Guard. Not quite sure who Sky Guard could be. Any thoughts, chat? Sky Guard? They've also got Breakaway. Is that just Breakdown? Is that another? Well, it doesn't say G2. Breakaway. Breakaway. So they got listed Breakaway as that weird jet that me and Big D talked about from the Revenge of the Fallen line. But they really do this jet? I mean, maybe Breakaway will be one of the aerial bots repainted. Maybe, or it'll be something that I'm just not catching on at the moment. But yeah, maybe it'll be that. Maybe it'll just be a recolor of an aerial bot, I suppose. XLHead says, "Oh wait, it's the retro line, so Bugbite will have Toy Bee's head." That's probably true as well. Yeah, I didn't even consider you would have the face grill look, but you're probably right potentially. Maybe I'm right with this Breakaway thing, because another DLX figure is going to be Alpha Bravo, so that's going to be a repaint of Spinister. What an idiot, of Vortex. We've got a repaint, maybe. We've got a repaint with Alpha Bravo. Breakaway, which might be a repaint. Wild Rider, which is a repaint. And then Sky Guard. So Sky Guard, I guess again. Let's just put in Sky Guard. Sky Guard. Oh, that came up quick. I put in Sky Guard and it's showing me Sky Gary, which I don't think it would do. So maybe Sky Guard is also going to be one of the aerial bots repainted. Unless they repaint like Blast Off and have like Blast Off and Vortex repaints in this wave, maybe. For Voyagers, we've got Cybershark, which is obviously going to be a repaint of Skybite into lamer colors, I would say. Voyager Guzzle. Voyager Guzzle? What was the last tank that we got? What was the last Age of the Prime tank? I don't know. Hang on. Age of the Primes. Voyager. Oh, okay. I Voyager. Let me put down tank as well before I say anything else, just in case something else pops up. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. I think it is going to be what I think. So my assumption is going to be that looking at the list, the only tank we have in Age of the Primes is Brawl. So Guzzle might be a redo of Brawl, because Brawl's a Voyager. He doesn't look like Guzzle, but he's a tank, so maybe that's the idea. Is this wave just going to be a repaint line? A wave? Exilhead says, we all knew... I haven't got to Machine War Starscream yet. We've also got Guzzle, Leader, New Prime. New Prime? Better than Old Prime. He's New Prime. New Prime. What the hell does New Prime mean? New Prime. Leaders. Leader class. What could New Prime be? I don't think it would be Big Convoy. Could it be like Liege Maximo or a repaint of Liege Maximo? So maybe a repaint of Liege Maximo, maybe a repaint of Christ, what's his name? Of Onyx Prime, maybe. They wouldn't do they wouldn't do Razor Claw because they've already got him done. New Prime. What a boring, undescriptive name New Prime is. New Prime, better than Old Prime. Okay. And then the last one is MW, Machine Wars Starscream. And I'll read Exel Hedge comments now. We all knew Machine Wars Starscream was coming. Hey, at least Skyquake and Dreadwing can tear Starscream apart for copying their body type. True. But is Machine Wars Starscream going to be a new mold? Or is it going to be a repaint of something? And if it is a retool, what leader figure would it be a retool of? Or just straight up repaint? Again, I'm not sure, because we haven't had like a big plane for a while. But it would also be weird if like this entire wave was a repaint wave. Effectively, the whole thing was a repaint wave. Apart from Machine Wars Starscream and maybe New Prime, if whatever New Prime is meant to be. So like I say, Starscream has to be someone already, but I don't know who it could be. Otherwise, again, why would you have one figure and then everything else repaints? That would be odd. Excel Hedge says Guzzle is most likely a Brawl repaint. Yeah, that's what I said as well. As soon as I looked at like Voyagers, Brawl popped up and I went, he's a tank. Yeah, it has to be that. Has to be. So if it is a repaint line, that's kind of lame and boring because you should always mix in repaints with new figures, or at least some new figures, so people are not just going, well, yeah. Because at this point, the G2, I think the G2 Wild Rider will have like a specific cap. Like, because unless you've been, like, a new fan's not going to pick up Wild Rider. Because then they're going to have to go through the faff of sourcing the other Stunticon, G2 Stunticons. Alpha Bravo will have a weird dedicated following, as he seems to have done since his inception from Combiner Wars. Skyguard, as I say, maybe a repaint of an aerial bot. Yeah. Andy, I just said what Starscream is. Most likely a repaint of. We all knew Starscream was coming. Hey, at least Skyquake and Dreadwing can tear Starscream apart for being a body type. Why does it say what he's going to be based off of? What do you mean? We all knew Machine Wars Starscream was coming. Have I just forgotten like a mold that's been used? Skyquake and Dreadwing. Skyquake, Transformers. No, you took off the thing. Transformers, Skyquake. I don't think it'd be that. Legacy? Oh, yeah, of course it'll be the Legacy Skyquake. I completely forgot this was a mold. It's been like this mold has been out for so fucking long. I completely forgot about it. That's why when I read Skyquake and Dreadwing, I was like, the only Skyquake and Dreadwing we've had recently was was it ABC Toys or whatever it's called, the KOs of the original Prime figures. I completely forgot Legacy did this figure. So yeah, okay. Well, that's it'll just be this, but maybe with a new head if we're lucky, but maybe not even that. Uh Fuck, when did this figure come out? I don't even remember. How many years ago? Feels like a long time ago. Wow, you can get him for 30 quid on eBay? With free charge? Oh, and it's the Japanese one? I wouldn't get it, but hey. Yeah, damn, I completely forgot about that. You know, again, it would have been better. Why did you do Machine War Starscream when you should have done King Atlas? King Atlas would have been a cooler color scheme. Throwing it out there. Or Skyquake would have been a cooler color scheme. Like a proper Skyquake rather than Transformers Prime Skyquake. But hey ho. Maybe they'll do this Machine War Starscream and he'll have a new head, and then they'll do proper Predator Jet Skyquake. I doubt it, but there you go. That makes the most sense. Okie dokie. We also have possible details for Age of the Prime Commander Armada Jetfire. So it says here that no images yet, but I have seen Armada Jetfire. This comes from just in from TFW's at noon. I'm guessing that's a contributor. Allegedly, 8 inches tall ladies in robot mode, converts from a robot to a shuttle in 41 steps. All right. Includes 3 minicons that become the Requiem Blaster. Okay. Fair enough. So, again, this feels weird to bring this out now. I think a better idea would have been to, I mean, what do I know? But if you're going to do like an add-on, because let's be honest, Jetfire is an add-on kit for Armada Optimus Prime. So I would have thought you do Armada Optimus Prime. The next one you do is Jetfire. And what you do as well, you even say on the packaging for the Armada Optimus Prime, you go, we are making Jetfire. And have like a silhouette of like this. You have the cartoon, a drawn image silhouette, excuse me, of Jetfire on the box. And you just say mysterious figure coming through the warp gate. And you have that on the back of the box, or you have that on the instruction manual. You have it somewhere. And again, you have it as the next Commander figure. It feels like it's been a while since Armada Optimus Prime came out as well. Because that was a Legacy Commander. So it feels like a while since then. But good. I guess the people that have the Armada Optimus Prime who like it, and I think a lot of people did like it, I missed out on getting it. So I guess I don't need to get this one either. Because why would you get Jetfire on his own? You know, he's a pair of trousers. Why would you get him without the top half? It's odd. XL Heads says, Armada theme song plays, Prime and Jetfire combine. Yeah. I'm not super shocked it's happening. I wonder if and or when they'll do Overload / Ultra Magnus, the big shoulder guns. Because, I mean, if you're going to do Jetfire, why wouldn't you do the other one as well? Are we going to get a repaint of this guy as well into other colors? Actually, oh yeah, you could repaint this guy so he could go with the Nemesis Prime figure potentially. Nemesis Prime didn't come with trousers for a trailer, but since Jetfire can just become trousers anyway, he could still fill that role to make a super mode Nemesis Prime. That could still work. Yeah, okay, rock and roll. Armada Jetfire coming. XL Head says it will be interesting to see both Commander Jetfire standing next to each other. Oh yeah, that's true. I was like, what are you talking about? And yes, you mean Skyfire, I suppose, technically, right? Unless there's another Commander Jetfire, which I don't think there is. The American one and the standard G1 one. Oh, sorry, the Japanese one and the standard American one. G1 and Armada back to back. All right. So, Excel Head says Astro Train for Nemesis Prime. Oh, you mean the Studio Series Astro Train? Oh, you mean color scheme wise? I see. Yeah, the Bocon version that could potentially work. At least it'd be interesting to see. They could release it in a limited quantity, like they did the Nemesis Prime as well. That would be a good compromise. So, in terms of TFCon Toronto, from the 10th to the 12th of July, we have Richard Newman, voice of Rhinox and Vector Prime. He's going to be there. We also have TFCon Orlando. That's been announced for October, the 23rd to the 25th. Damn, are there 3 TFCons per year? I guess there are. Right? 3? God damn. Greg Berger's going to be going to that one down in Orlando. And we also have a TFCon Toronto, the 10th to the 12th announcement, as Neil Kaplan will be going, the voice of 2001 Optimus Prime from Robots in Disguise. So he's going to be going there as well. And let me just check the front page of TFW to make sure we're all up to date. Oh, what the fuck is this? Another bizarre fucking reissue. Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Greenlight. Reissue in the works, ? Why? I added the why. A new listing via a Chinese platform, Taobao, which we've heard of many times before, seems to confirm the reissue of Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Greenlight, the repaint / slight retool of the female body that they just ran into the ground from Siege for a while, which was not a great figure to begin with. Greenlight, a retool of Power of the Primes. It was Moon Racer from Power of the Primes. Together with her Battle Master partner, Dazzle Strike, were released in 2019 as an Amazon exclusive, and later became hard to find because no one wanted them. I would imagine. Now it seems collectors will have a second chance to get her. To top it all, we also have listings for the Power of the Prime's Throne, which we talked about earlier in the show. So, yeah, apparently Greenlight, fan favorite Greenlight? ? Is going to get a reissue as well. Again, this was not a good mold. But it does come with the flame parts. And a really crappy weaponizer animal partner. So, yay! But again, who would have predicted Greenlight get a redo? It seems like this batch of reissues are all like exclusives that are now not exclusive for some reason or another. I don't know why. All of these reissues just puzzle my tiny boy brain. I don't get it. But that's it, chat. That's all of the news we have for this week. Nothing else fancy has gone down. In terms of what I've been up to this week, I went over to Scotland with my sister so she could check out a university, one of the great Scottish universities. It wasn't the most exciting day, but I did walk around this town, and I saw this one town had 6 ice cream parlors, different ice cream places. I know it's a seaside town, but I think like all of these places are within like 5-minute walking distance from each other, which to me, I don't know, seems a bit excessive. It seems a tad much. Same for the amount of charity shops. They had about 7 different charity shops in there, which I went to. And again, all within like a couple of minutes walk from each other. Granted, there was very little in terms of other shops that I would have been interested in. There was no like a video game store. There was no model store for stuff. There was no toy store. There were a lot of old people stores, as I would describe them, and Scottish knick-knack stores where you buy Scottish tat. You know, it's like when you go to London and you've got the London tat stores. It's one of those kind of things. I was like, I was pretty bored, but walking around, it was a nice place. I was like, "Ooh, what a nice place." If there was a place I was going to move to and die, I'd probably go there. It looked reasonably comfortable. But This is what ground my gears, chat. A single on a bus that was a 13-minute bus journey, so not a long bus journey, from the train station to the bus terminal, which was the center of the town, was £5.60. That's for those not aware. That's a lot of fucking money for a one-way travel on a bus. £5.60. I was fuming. I couldn't do anything about it, but I was not a happy camper. I was like, what the fuck do you mean £5.60 for 13 minutes? Yeah. So that was something I did. In terms of other stuff that I've done, I think that's all of the interesting stuff. I've finished painting up my B1 battle droids for Star Wars Legion. I finished my General Grievous on his weird motorbike thing. That's done. What else? I'm looking over at my table. Oh, I finished my droidicas as well, both in their standard robot mode and their weird ball mode. I also got through the commando droids, the ones from the Clone Wars series. I've painted them up. They're based. I just need to do the edge highlighting and they'll be finished. And finally, I got the Star Wars Legion Aqua droids, the kind of big, heavy support dudes, at least in this game. They're built, primed, and they're getting close to being finished. So that was something else I did that ate up a chunk of the week. I don't think I've seen anything really cool or interesting that's worthy of conversation. I think that's been the main hoof of it, to be honest. Yeah, I keep looking at picking up Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries, and I'm told it goes on sale a lot. It's not on sale now, so it's one of those things where I'm like jonesing to buy it, and I'm like, no, stop it. Don't buy thing. Wait for sale, stupid. Don't be dumb. Because as soon as I buy it, I know there'll be a sale coming up. So, yeah, that's all I've been up to, chat. Nothing desperately interesting. Oh, I did a show with Big D. No, not yesterday because it was out yesterday. On Friday, me and him were talking about Sharp, the first episode of Sharp. That'll be done by Mr. Adam White over on the Fluff and Hammer at some point. I don't know when it'll be edited and up, but it'll be over on that place at some point in the future. I guess I can mention it again once it goes up. When I do a show after it goes up, I can talk about it then. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I hope everybody's had a good week. We'll be back here next week, of course, with Big D talking about the final part of the Thrilling 30s line. We'll be finishing off that sausage. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. I'm also on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Moonbase 2, not as Moonbase 2, as Decade Andy. Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We're also on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go get us that way. We're on YouTube on a Sunday, 9:30 in the evening, UK time. And if you want to join us here like everybody else has done tonight, thank you as ever, chat. I much appreciate you coming and stopping on by for the stream. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you next week here on the Moonbase 2 podcast. Have a very good day and a week and whatever time it is you've started listening. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.